Welcome to Beyond Film School, where I teach you all about the film industry. I'm Amber, and this video is going to be for my assistant directors, my aspiring assistant directors. We're going to get into AD problems that only assistant directors are going to encounter. Listen, working in film is hard, it is challenging. I'm not taking away from anyone who works in film, but when you get to be an assistant director, it is at a whole other level. I know so many people who have tried being assistant directors and they've done it and they never did it again.
Why would anyone do that to themselves?
There are very specific things that happen because it is your job that other people who work in film do not have to deal with. From other crew members on set, at least once a week I get this said to me: I could never do your job. I could never do your job.
Nope.
I take that as a compliment, but I definitely wonder, it makes me think about like, what type of freak am I to actually enjoy being an assistant director? We're not gonna get into that. That's a different video, but we're gonna get into the problems that ADs are going to encounter, they have to deal with, things that we have to handle all the time. But if I'm being honest, I think everyone who works in film, there's something wrong with everyone who decides to stay and work in film. There's something wrong with all of us. We all have something going on up here. Something to endure what we endure. I don't know, but yeah, definitely another video. So number one is that we serve many masters. We have a lot of bosses. The hierarchy is fierce when it comes to film, but as an assistant director, we have a lot of people that we have to do the work for, who we work with, who we serve. Now we have like the crew. If you're a good assistant director, you are gonna say you serve the crew. We're not your servants, but we definitely serve the crew. We wanna do it right by them. We're kind of their voice. We're the liaison between production and the crew. So we wanna make sure that we're serving the crew. So the crew is that part, that element where it's not really a master, but we're serving them. We have the UPM, we have producers, we have EPs, we have writers, we have actors, we have the director. There are so many people that we have to kind of do the bidding for, and then we have to kind of do kind of like the negotiating with when it comes to like what we can do for the crew and what we can do for the actors and timing and all this stuff. There's a lot of people we have to answer to. So that is one tough thing for us. And all those people want different things at different times and told to them in different ways, because how you speak to a crew member is not going to be how you speak to a director. How you speak to a director is not going to be how you talk to an actor, and how you talk to an actor is not going to be how you talk to a teamster. I feel like the AD slot is basically the big filter to a lot of the other departments. So you're welcome, other departments. You're really welcome. We have to adjust to all these people and the personalities, and is it exhausting? Absolutely. Yes. It is not easy. You have to adjust constantly. I think having the ability to adjust is highly underrated. The call sheet. Let's just talk about the call sheet for a second here. Sometimes I really wonder if people even read the damn thing.
Probably not.
Do you read the call sheet? Like, if you're not in the AD department and you're watching this and you're just like getting some general knowledge, and maybe you're like in the camera department or something, do you read the call sheet? Because I know it's a legal document, but some people ask me the craziest questions, and I'm like, it's really simple. You just gotta like, just look at the call sheet. Just look at the call sheet. Just glance at it. Just glance at it for me. Yes, the call sheet is super important. It is a big part of the assistant director job, especially the key second on union things. And if you're an indie assistant director, you're probably running the show, you're running set, and then you're making a call sheet. So I know all the work and the amount of hours that go into making this damn document, but damn it if I don't feel like it exists with the questions that I get on a daily basis. So a lot of hours are spent to make sure that the information is right, there are no typos, and that there's no confusion, but that still doesn't prevent all those things from happening. The call sheet, that's like an AD thing it's completely our realm, but also like we wish that people would just read it. Just read it. It would just make us a lot happier. I think I'm cheating a little bit with this one, but it is the last minute changes from the director, or a quick rewrite, or that script that came at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Now I know last minute changes and last minute rewrites affect the whole crew, but I think, and I truly believe that with the assistant directors, we feel the sting of this way more, because what happens is that these last minute changes are told to the crew, and the crew is looking at us like, why didn't you tell us? And we're like, we're learning about this just like you are. And they like never believe us. The crew never believes the ADs. We're like, this just happened. This is nothing that we're lying about. This is something that just happened right now.
Liar! You are a liar.
No, I'm
not.
So the last minute changes, that's a big one. The reason why I don't really like it is because it creates chaos, there's confusion, people are like, where do we go now? Where are we shooting? What's the page count? What's the dialogue? What are the lines? The actors are confused. It cancels out like any of the prep that would have happened for the filming day. And not to mention, it eats up a ton of time. Last minute changes when a department has prepared something, like it could be like a certain meal that was prepared for a restaurant scene, and now they're like, well, instead of fish, I want beef. Well, now we have to run around the city and try and find a restaurant that has beef because we didn't prepare that, and now it's like we're stuck like waiting 45 minutes for a brand new dish that initially was prepped to be a fish dish and now it's beef. That's a crazy example, but like that's the first thing that came to my head. But either way, it eats up time. Time!
Ain't nobody got time for that!
And you know that we're the timekeepers. ADs are the timekeepers, and anything that eats up time, we hate it. We hate it. Everyone's always stuck looking at the ADs like,
What the heck is happening?
this is not us. This is not coming from us. This is not coming from me. It's not coming from me. It's coming from the director. Try to do the best I can and prepare, give people as much heads up as I can. But the last minute changes are killer. This one is kind of connected to the last one I had because we're talking about that prep and those last minute changes. Well, when we discuss certain things that are in a scene in prep, this gets talked about in theory, right? And we're like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have a stab wound, we're gonna have a retractable knife, and we're gonna see if it works. But then when you get on set, that's when the theory and reality come together and we're hopefully accomplishing that thing that they want for the scene. And it's always the ADs that are stuck kind of asking the certain questions that bring us to the reality of like how we're gonna shoot it. Yes, we have prep, but sometimes you really don't see how this is all gonna work until the camera's set up, the actors are there, and we're gonna try it out. So, and it always gets kind of stuck on us to kind of figure it out. Well, what is the things that we need to do to make this happen? And we're always like, okay, well, we talked about it in prep, but that's not working. So then we have to like scramble for a new solution. So the figuring out element, like I kind of love it because otherwise I probably wouldn't have a job. But also it is a problem that sometimes can be a little bit more taxing. Maybe too stressful sometimes. I know why I'm there and that's the purpose of my job, but it's like the nature of the beast, but also it's very frustrating. Another AD problem? The PA staff. No. Okay, just hear me out. Just hear me out. And everyone's like, oh my God, how dare you come at the PA staff? How dare you come at the set PA staff? But it's actually quite difficult to manage a team of set PAs, whether they're experienced or green or whatever experience level they have. It's actually quite hard to manage them. The AD department is going to be the department that brings in the brand new fresh faces of film, basically. Everyone starts as a set PA. So all these newbies, green PAs who have never stepped foot on a film set, they're coming to the AD department to be our staff. So it's quite challenging to make sure that, first of all, you have to want to mentor and train people and teach people. And if you don't have an aptitude for teaching, then this could be a real big problem for you. And a lot of people I've seen really suffer because they don't like training. They just want to set it and forget it. They want experienced PAs on their staff and that's it. It can be very hard to take on a bunch of new PAs. The turnover rate, if they don't want to be ADs, then they're not going to stick with us. They're going to go into the camera department and the electric department. And we want them to have careers in this, but like the nature of how it works in US filming scripted TV and film, they come into the AD department and then they leave.
Bye, Felicia!
After they've gotten their feet wet and they figure out where they want to go and then they just leave us. I mean, I'm kind of jealous of like grip teams and prop teams who stay together season after season and they're totally fine when they've stuck with the same team over and over again because they actually want to be in that department and no one's going anywhere and they just climb the ladder within that department. And I know there's like more newer people that like, you have third electrics and third grips and like the property department where you have, or cameras have their loaders where like these are brand new people, but they're not brand new people to film. We're getting like the fresh people, like the green people. And not only do you have to have an aptitude for training, but you have to have patience. You have to have patience and empathy and like, there's a lot that goes into making sure that you can manage a team of people who are brand new to film. We gotta talk about the background. No other department handles the background. Only the assistant director, so it can go either way. It can be really fun or it can be really difficult because you can have backgrounds that have been background actors for years, like my SAG background. They know what to do. They know how to like walk naturally and do all the actions naturally because you're gonna give them creative things to do. Sometimes it can be really great because you can get creative with the background and what you're setting in the scene. But then sometimes you're gonna get that non-union background who've never stepped on set before. They don't really know and they maybe you give them a small note like, okay, make sure you're gonna react when she comes in the room and they do something crazy big, and they're like, okay, that was way too much.
Hey guys, could you tone it down?
And they can't bring it down, and then you have to like switch a background actor out. So the background is a very particular problem for the AD department, but also it can be very fun. But then there are those days that are like super challenging, and then you have all the personalities that come with background. The background, that is just, it's like, it can go either way. I said this in the beginning, and I did say that we're like the filter system. The AD department is basically the bottleneck, right? So what happens in the AD department is we get all the ideas, all the theories, all the things that, you know, the director wants to do, or, you know, the director of photography needs this. And so it all comes to us. And then since we're the voice, we're the ones that kind of break it down and simplify it for everyone else on the crew. So while I am very proud of that job, this is a problem that no other department really encounters. It is something that you really have to be good at. Can you take a complicated idea and then make it simple in one sentence and make it concise for people to digest really fast? Well, that's an AD's job. You will have a director tell you like some crazy idea, go on and on and on for like a 10-minute monologue or something, and you're like, oh, you just want to go across the street and then like park the car. And they're like, yeah. So we simplify things. So we take complicated ideas, complicated information, and we break it down and make it simple. But for the next one, what another kind of AD problem is that we have all the information, but we can only release certain information at a certain time to certain departments. So that's also another problem where it's like, I just want to tell everybody everything so they can prepare in the future, but producers don't want you to tell certain things to certain departments for certain reasons.
I want to tell you, but I promised to keep it a secret.
We know everything, but we can't tell everyone everything. Very specific AD problem where like you know all the things, but you can't share it just yet. You always have to like keep secrets. It's very annoying. Some people really, really hate it, but just letting you know, that's part of being an AD. It's like you gotta like not say anything to anybody at certain times. We're the complaint department. Everyone will come to us if they have something they do not like, something's happening that is wrong or unsafe, or it could be that there's just not enough snacks at Crafty. I mean, I've gotten that complaint to me multiple times on this one feature I did, and I could not believe. I was like, bro, like there are bigger problems I have to solve besides the snacks at Crafty right now.
Are you serious? Are you serious right now?
You are serving the crew, but you're also getting bitched at by them. We want to make sure we do the right thing for you, but also the people we're doing right by are the ones that are bitching to us about what the production is doing. But it's not really us because we're like only the messenger and we're only trying to solve problems for the crew. You're also trying to set the right morale on set, try to have a good attitude and be an optimist. But then like there's like this push and pull where like I have to make sure that I respect them, but I'm pushing them to make sure we get the job done for the day and we are on time and all these things. So there's this weird like push and pull that has to happen between ADs and like the rest of the set and like the rest of the crew and all the departments. You're the complaint department, you're a mediator, you're an educator, you're a babysitter, like you're a bunch of things as an assistant director. Every frustration, every aggression, all the stress is coming from all sides, coming right to you as an AD. From the directors, from the writers, from the crew, from the actors, from your staff that are like the PAs that you're trying to train. You get it from all sides. Everything comes your way from all different directions. All the while you're being optimistic, you're trying to make sure you're not yelling, you're making sure that you're not making some PA cry or lose your damn mind. Just trying to make sure you make your day. That's all we want. It can be a lot. The ADs, if you have a friend that's an assistant director, just like give them a hug because they probably need it. The real AD problem is that there's 3 people who have issues or there's 3 fires to put out, but you can only handle one at a time and everyone wants to be the first one taken care of. I got more AD videos to check out that'll be on the screen for you. Check out that playlist. There are so many things in the assistant director world that I talk about. Also, I have been reading, I just finished this book called Ready When You Are. It's by Darius Eismer. He is recently, a couple years, he died a couple years ago. He is a first AD and he was like one of the first DGA trainee from the DGA training program, and he talks about his life as as a first AD and working on these movies and working with certain famous directors and famous actors, and I really felt seen in this book. As an AD, I highly recommend this book. It's 100% relatable for ADs out there. Very much enjoyed it. It is kind of a bigger book. It's like 425 pages, but as an AD, I really related to this book, and I was like, wow, things have not changed in several decades. I will leave the link below for you. That is Amazon affiliate link, and with no extra cost to you, but also highly recommend buying it used or going to the library. It has been out for several years, so you'll probably find it somewhere, but for some reason it's very expensive right now. So thank you so much for watching, my aspiring ADs out there. I hope this has been a great video for you. That is it for now. I shall see you next time.